Hey, my good people. It is Bridget back again from It's Your Time channel, and today is going to be a fabulous day. I'm going to speak it into existence because I know and I believe that you get exactly what you say. There's power in words. So we're starting off, we're going to have a fabulous day. We're going to pick up on our Capricorn Chronicles, our journaling. And today is probably going to be one of those vulnerable days. I've been promising you the second piece to part of my relationship calamity. So I'm going by the inserts here, and I'm going to pick the third one. And it says, what do you wish people understood about you? Okay. And I think that a lot of people look at others, whether it be me or whomever, and they make up their own stories and their own ideas about what people are and why they are, how they are. And I do my best to try to make and live my life in a way that lines up with the blessings that I have been given, the blessings that I hold dear to my heart, the blessings that I'm waiting upon as well. But people don't realize in the Christian world, pardon me, when you're a faith-filled person, they think that everything is always going to go 100% okay for you. And it always turns out good for you. Yes, it does, but it doesn't always feel good, and it doesn't always walk out to be good and like the everyday things. So I believe I shared with you probably back, maybe 8 episodes ago, that I had married. Okay, that was my first marriage, and it ended in ridiculousness because I was trying to do my best to be a woman of God and picking the wrong people. Okay, well, let me tell you, even when you are picking according to what you're taught or what people say are good things, avoiding the red flags, all these things, it still can be a little dicey, right? So I'd say I was probably in my mid 30s, and I was living in Philadelphia at the time, and I went on this dating site because that's, at that time it was like the beginning of, everything dating apps. And there was a Christian site, and I was on there and I met this gentleman, and things seemed to be good. We were on the same page with, giving your first to God, Bible study, devotion, just living a God-centered life, right? He happened to be from another country, and I didn't think much of it at the time. I knew that I wasn't going to put any boundaries on God. I wasn't going to put any, that you have to give it to me this way or that way, even in like, how the person should look and all this kind of thing. I mean, he was a handsome enough guy, but he wasn't really what I would have thought to be, what I normally would have picked, right? But he was a good guy. I thought he had a good heart, and, he would beat me getting up in the morning for devotion, and we'd go to Bible study together. And the first 6 months of the relationship it was great. He was one of the first men that agreed with not having sex before marriage. And that was something that I was really holding true to at the time. I was in ministry, and there are different reasons why I believe that is a Christian teaching, why people teach that. But it also can be it can be used the wrong way, because a lot of times we rush and, get married or get in relationship with the end goal in sight that, you'll be able to have protected sex, and that's protected under the guise of marriage in the eyes of God. All that is fabulous. All that is good. But you still have to watch out, right? So I'm going to say The 5th month of the marriage, like I said, everything was going great. I'm working. He was very helpful and supportive, and all the things. The only thing that I think I might have had a little bit of a problem with was, it seemed as though for some reason he and the ex-wife, because he was married before, he had 2 children. Not a problem with that. He was upfront with that, and I was accepting of that. And they lived in England. They lived in London, but they didn't seem to like. He would talk to his children, but he said that the wife had some ill feelings towards him. She just wasn't, warm and fuzzy. Not that you have to be, but it would seem like once you're married, you loved a person, you have children with them, then that would be enough to say we're going to have, a good workable relationship in order to raise our children even as we're apart, right? So that was probably the only thing that I thought that was a little strange, just because I don't harbor hard feelings, bad feelings. You hurt me, that's okay. You hurt me, I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna watch out, but you may not be able to hurt me again, but I'm not gonna hold that against you. So about 5 months into the marriage, we went to this marriage retreat, a newlywed type marriage retreat, right? Go there, it's lovely. I think it was like 3 days. I'm on cloud 9, feeling good about, they had some seminars that were for you, some that were for him, some that you guys did together. And so I got home, and one particular evening, very shortly after the seminar, he came in and he said, I have to tell you something. God really convicted me about something in my life. And, when I was in one of the seminars, I made up my mind I was going to tell you what it is. He said, you're probably not going to want to have anything to do with me, but I have to tell you. And I'm thinking to myself, my goodness, what could it be that would make me not want to have anything to do with you? I'm like, that's kind of strange. But I was like, okay, let's hear what's going on. Apparently, he was from Africa originally, and after he divorced his wife with the children, he was trying to get citizenship, and he had a guy friend, a real close friend. Now, when I met the man, now knowing after the story actually comes out, he always seemed a little strange to me, a little too bulgarish, a little too, just a little too something to be, a really good friend of a guy like I thought that I had. It just didn't seem to mesh. Come to find out, the friend had a girlfriend, and the friend already had his papers, whatever it was, green card at the time, to be in the United States. And the girlfriend really cared for this guy. And somehow they talked her into marrying the man that I was married to for his green card, for his citizenship papers. And he promised her that, they would have a baby together and all this other craziness, and that this is just something that, she could use her privilege, her United States citizenship to help someone else, a guy that really needed help, a good guy, a man of God, all of that, right? So I listened, and I was like, it sounded a little contorted. It sounded a little strange, but I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, then just when did you get married? Is the marriage over? Show me the papers. Oh, he didn't have the papers. He didn't have the divorce papers from this woman. And I was like, why don't you? He said, oh, they're back in England before, when he moved from England, they're back there. I said, well, there's got to be a way for you to be able to get the papers. It should be something that you have on your person when you've been married or divorced. These are things that you need to have for business reasons. Identification, for buying property, all kinds of things. So I was like, you should be able to get it, right? Yeah. So we started out on this journey of him going to get these papers or sending for these papers. Still in the back of my mind, now I'm starting to wonder, my antennas are going up. Why did the ex-wife, why is she having such a hard time staying on good terms with him? Why does she just not necessarily like him when I thought he seems to be, a really good person? And I'm thinking to myself too, what woman who wanted to have a relationship with someone, she's in love with someone, why would she stop herself from being able to be in right relationship with someone to do him a favor for his friend? So I'm thinking, I don't know, it sounds a little shady, and I'm feeling a little some kind of way about it, right? So, but I said I'm gonna wait, and we're gonna get these papers, and so he said he sent for them. I would ask about it every couple of weeks or so. He was like, oh yeah, they're supposed to be here. They're being sent to my brother's house. And his brother lived maybe 25, 30 minutes from us. I'm thinking, why are they being sent to your brother's house? We're married. We live here. Why wouldn't they come here? Ridiculousness. All right, ridiculousness. Now it starts to fall into place for me. He was like, oh, we don't have to have a huge wedding or anything, that's big, or we can have a big wedding later. Let's just go to Vegas and spend a weekend and go to shows and do this and do that. And, we could just get married there. And, I didn't have any reason to hide or any reason to think that this was not the right thing to do. I'd gotten out of the other marriage. I thought that I was doing the right thing. I found a godly man. We were in a good place. We were following through on, really building a relationship, building a friendship. Like I said, no sex before marriage. I felt like I did it all right. What could be wrong? But I started thinking about it, and come to find out, the papers never materialized. They never came to the house. They were never sent from England. And I was already a little sore, from going through all this, and, just trying to like make good in my mind about all these things and how they could have, give people the benefit of the doubt, this could have happened, that could have happened. And then it just all kind of came together. I was like, the rush to go to Vegas, the ex-wife not being right, just all these strange things. And now the paperwork can't materialize. It couldn't be sent from England. So needless to say, I moved on with asking him for a divorce, because you didn't tell me that you were married to another woman. I'm saying, the first dude had a child that I didn't know about. He was hiding the child, right? This one, a whole wife for a green card that he was hiding, and God made him tell the truth. I'm telling you, when God is for you, he is for you. God will make everything work out for your good when your intentions and your, what am I trying to say? When your motives are right. My motives were to be honorable to God, to do the right thing, to have a godly marriage. And God made that man tell the truth, made him tell on himself. I tell you. And then he said that, remember in the beginning, he was like, oh no, you might not want to be bothered with me, and I understand, as he's getting ready to tell me the story. And then when I finally saw it and saw that it was all a lie, and I was like, I need to be out of this. I'm not going to do this, because he really wanted me to help him with citizenship papers. So he needed to know that I was going to, back him up. If he did produce these papers, these divorce papers, it was tied to, but will you help me with my citizenship? And he never said anything about that. None of that as we were dating and when we got married, all that stuff. And it only took God 5 months to make this man tell the truth. So I was like, no, I don't want to be bothered with this. I can't trust it. I can't trust you. And no, I'm not going to be that person to, get you your green card. That might have been something I could have done had I seen that he was on the up and up. But how do you marry your best friend's girlfriend for papers? What kind of tomfoolery is that? You know what I'm saying? And we all make mistakes, for sure. Even those of us that follow the Lord or try to do the best things, try to do the right things. Yes, you make mistakes, but you can't play around with that kind of stuff. Lo and behold, come to find out, I didn't even have to get a divorce from him. All the stories he told me, oh, I have the papers, they just got caught in the mail and I couldn't get them and all that. When I went to court, the judge awarded me an annulment because this man was still married to someone else and our marriage was really null and void. Okay, so listen, when you're looking for that person, when you are, and sometimes you got to look at the reasons why you're looking for that person. Are you looking for that person for, to build a life, to spend time together, to have a partner, a friendship, or are you looking for a person to check off a box on your list of things to do? And when I look back on it, I did want a good relationship, a right relationship, but I should have done some other things. I should have delved deeper before actually saying I do. I should have, made it my business to meet the children, make a trip to meet the woman that I would be in partnership with in raising children, right? Because of, she being the ex-wife. All that should have been in order before, and that's my bad. I moving too fast, trusting, not wanting the proof, right? Not thinking I needed proof because it looked good, it sounded good. He spoke, Christianese and all the things, but be wary. A lot of people think that, oh, you looks like your life is so good now. You must have had it so good. You're aging well. God has blessed you. God has blessed me. My God, my God, my God. But let me tell you, we have been through the fire, God and I, and some of it because I jumped into the fire, and God is always there with you. But I wanted to share that with you because I've been promising that I would share the second part of the marriage debacles. And I hope that you can take something away from this, that you can eat off my plate, as I always say, and be careful about who you join yourself with. Ask all the questions, take the time, even if you have to do private investigator background check, it's worth it. It's worth it, because once you join yourself with someone, it's not that easy to get out of. God saved me that time and let me out of that easily because the man was not right and his motives weren't right. But let me tell you, the damage that was done, the amount of trust that was sacrificed, the amount of second guessing, the amount of, oh my God, I'm just gonna give up, forget it. This is not for me. I can't even do this with these people. All that's not worth it. It's better to do it right the first time and figure out if it's really something that you want to do, or is it something that you think you should do, So if you got something from it, if you know somebody that can be blessed by it, if you liked it, please like, share, subscribe, and I will be back on the next episode to let you know the aftermath and how God set me up for success after getting out of this marriage, even while in ministry. All right. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Stay steady the course. Stay mindful. Remember to take your time out in the beginning of the day to set the tone for the day. Make sure you're a priority because it is your time. God bless.